Well, you were playing Laura Nyro earlier in the in the day. Laura Nyro, who's a big songwriting influence on me. And the thing that really tipped it, I was interested in what she was doing. I liked her songwriting, but she put in an album called Eli and the 13th Confession. And it just blew everybody's mind. Blew my mind, but it blew everybody's mind. That a girl this young was singing with this much soul, and the songwriting was, was hers. It wasn't like anybody else's songwriting. And as it turned out, I met her at the time because I was such a fan. I arranged a meeting. I went to her apartment, and she turned out to be like, her pictures on her albums were very romantic looking, but she turned out to be like a very large gypsy. And her fingernails were so long that they curled over. And when she played the piano, they clattered on the keys the whole time. I couldn't figure out how they managed to record her without it becoming part of the record, But I learned from her that she hated the process of making Eli and the 13th Confession. She felt rushed. She felt like, things didn't get done the way that she wanted them done. Here was a record that blew everybody's mind, and she hated the experience of making it. And that was a big lesson for me. I realized that, how much you enjoy yourself in the studio isn't necessarily a measure of progress or the quality of the final product. That sometimes, someone has to drive you to the edge before that kind of tension and immediacy and urgency in the performance comes out. When someone tells you, well, we've got to finish this up in an hour because this is a union session and everybody's leaving. You're feeling pressured, but that pressure is what's making it more resemble a live performance. Because I worked with Laura Nyro later. She was doing a record called Mother's Spiritual, and she had built a studio in her own house in Connecticut, and she'd been working on it for a year and making no progress, nothing happening. And I went there to try and just help her get going, to get the project started. And we did manage to get the project started. But a typical session would be like, just finished take 23. And she said, that was a nice one. Let's do another. And by the time she's done, she's got 35 takes of a song. And then has to figure out which one to use. And quite obviously, it's like she doesn't even know. She doesn't even know when it's working or not. That's a nice one, let's do another. That's a nice one, let's do another. That's a nice one, let's do another. I'll figure it out later, That makes absolutely no sense. I wanted to strangle her. And maybe that would have made something happen. I don't know. But, I loved Laura, and, it was kind of a shame that she never got all the recognition that she probably should have gotten. There's just a whole generation of songwriters who will tell you that that was a really influential record.